Well, Star Wars fans, the 25th of February is a beautiful day. It's the day that we all received news that Kathleen Kennedy would be stepping down from her role as CEO, president, whatever you want to call it, of Lucasfilm. There are obviously many things that go with this and into this. I think at a base level, there are a couple things that I would like to say right off the rip. I don't hate everything Disney Star Wars. I really don't. I don't hate Ahsoka. I don't hate Andor. Don't hate Rogue One. I didn't even hate The Last Jedi when it came out. I know, whatever. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. But it's the all-encompassing sort of stew that is Disney Star Wars that I absolutely abhor. So what does this mean, right? I think that's the real question, because when it comes to Disney sort of ruining properties or messing up properties that people grew up with and that sort of thing, there's a lot of that happening right now, right? Like, Star Wars is the big one for me. I think that that's the one that I like. Something new Star Wars comes out and I'm not even excited about it. I actually had a very good friend of mine send me the Andor season 2 trailer yesterday, and I told him straight up, I was like, I just don't care. Like, I know how a story ends because of Rogue One, and I didn't watch any of season 1 of Andor. I watched like 4 episodes, and I know it's really good. Please, like, spare me the comments that are like, this is such an L. Like, it's such a good show. I'm sure that it is. I have no doubt that it is. It's the exception though, right? Where most of it is garbage. You get stuff like The Acolyte, or you get stuff like Mando Season 3, or Book of Boba Fett, or the Obi-Wan show. Take your pick. And it's not that any of those projects are completely bad start to finish. The only one that's like that to me is The Acolyte. And I think that just really comes down to poor writing and poor execution. I don't think it comes down to anything with the actors or anything like that. Like, it's just been a mess, I think that that's probably putting it pretty mildly, but not just Disney Star Wars in film and television, but also the theme parks, right? Like, you've had this mess of park in Galaxy's Edge because they were just absolutely insistent that it had to take place in between episode 8 and episode 9, and it was on this planet Batuu, and you couldn't. So it puts you in this weird canonical, right? Timeline where you can't have characters like Darth Vader. You can't have characters like Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi or any of these classic characters that people would like to see. Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia. Take your pick. Like, you have to have Kylo Ren, Rey. The only legacy character you really get is Chewie, and it's like, that's great, I guess, but I digress. I think that going back to what I was getting at before, we've established that Disney Star Wars is a mess. I don't think that's a secret to anyone that's probably watching this video. My anxiety now is who's going to take this over, how much control are they actually going to have, and are they going to take their time rebuilding Star Wars and making it a brand again that old fans and new fans alike can enjoy. Because that's the thing that I think they really missed the boat on the past 13 years, right? They tried to rebrand it completely and package it as this thing that just didn't connect at all with original trilogy fans or with prequel fans. And even before Disney bought Star Wars, obviously, a lot of you will remember this. There was a rift between like prequels kids like myself and original trilogy fans. Not so much with the prequel fans. I think that they also enjoyed the original trilogy, but the original trilogy people hated the prequels. So there's or a good chunk of them, right? So there's a lot of baggage that comes with Star Wars, a lot. And I know that George Lucas kind of, handpicked Kathleen Kennedy as the successor for Lucasfilm and all of that, which is all well and good, but I think it's also fair to say that after over a decade of seeing her in this role, she's quite literally failed pretty miserably. And that doesn't come down to just her. That also comes down to people that she's appointed, other people within Lucasfilm that she's put in these various positions. I used to think that after Dave Filoni became the creative director or whatever he is now. I don't even remember his title. Doesn't really matter. That maybe that would start saving some stuff, and that we would get some good stuff, because I love the Clone Wars show. And again, it's kind of a mixed bag, which is none of us actually know what's going on there, right? Unless you're an insider and you have some scoops that we're not aware of. Like, we don't really know what's going on here when it comes to the workings and how everything goes and blah 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 blah. But for the casual fan, for the super fan, we don't have access to everything that's going on in there. So here's my hope, right? My hope is that they whoever comes in gets the right leadership in, starts painting some scripts for some movies, not television shows, and that they build on lore, established lore. They adapt maybe some extended universe stuff. Just really trying to buy some goodwill with fans. I think that will go a long way. And that's not to say, you bend the knee and don't have any creative freedom in what you create or what you do. I think that you have to do that as well. But we're at a spot with Star Wars where, look, I've got a Star Wars tattoo on my left leg, a really big one. And I love it. I've got a bunch of figures back there that are all Star Wars, and it's something that I grew up with. My dad showed it to me as a kid, and it stuck with me. There's something about space wizards having lightsaber battles that just really resonates with a young lad. But lately, there's like a couple episodes of that Ahsoka show that I thought were great, like the Anakin World Between Worlds stuff with Ahsoka. Like, all that was really cool. I think Baylan Skoll is by far the most interesting character that Star Wars has created during the entire 13 years or whatever that Disney's had it. And we haven't really gotten to see much out of that character outside of the Ahsoka show, obviously. And Ray Stevenson passed, so we're getting I think it's the Hound, right? That's gonna be playing that character now, which is great. Like, I think all that's cool, but all that to say, like, there haven't been many characters that Disney Star Wars has given us that have made me excited to watch it. You could argue that Din Djarin and Mandalorian is one of those. I think that's you could make that argument, but I think that the best Mando stuff really is kind of just expansion on stuff that happens after Return of the Jedi. So at any rate, this is getting a little too long, but what do you guys think about this? Do you think that this gives us hope moving forward? Are you still just really apprehensive that Disney's going to put in the wrong person? And obviously this is all a wait and see thing, right? Like, we won't actually know until things start happening, but I'm going to pass it off to you guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'm at least slightly optimistic. That's where I land on all of this. But as always, like, subscribe. I reply to all the comments if I can. And peace. May the force be with you.